Hi guys, good morning. This is Dan. Welcome to Engelgeist. For those of you that are new, welcome. For those of you that are returning, welcome back. And for those of you that support me over on Patreon, thank you so very much for your subscriptions. You guys mean the world to me. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in subscribing to the channel, you can support by going over to patreon.com and choosing a monthly subscription. Over there, you get the daily forecast a day early, and also other readings that are only available over there each month, depending on the level that you choose. Okay, so this is our daily forecast for the greater collective. That means anybody who watches this, it applies to you. And it is originally created for the date of Monday, December 7th, but it is a message for the highest good of the greater collective. Therefore, I believe when it reaches you is when you're supposed to see it. So it is a timeless message in regards to, if it's in your feed and it's not December 7th, don't turn it off. It might actually make sense or pertain. Because it is a broad spectrum message, you have to choose where it fits best in your life and decide whether or not it even makes sense for your life. Any decisions that you make in your personal life after having watched any of my videos are your own responsibility, and I request that you please always use your own highest intelligence and intuition in making those decisions. Never take what I have to say over the advice or suggestions of a professional in their field, i.e. a lawyer, a doctor, a therapist. Always listen to them first and foremost. And beyond that, if anything doesn't make sense or doesn't resonate, that's completely fine. It may not be your reading, or it may not, it doesn't mean anything's wrong. You might just be working on something else. Alright, so let's get into the cards today and see what's going on. Oh, wow. All right, it's going to be one of those kind of months. So the Hermit is here. We have... shit. All right. It's fine. The Hermit came up yesterday. For those of you that watch Sundays, we have that Seven of Pentacles energy underpinning all of this. And then the Hermit is the midweek card. This is about, to me, I feel like, first off, we have this Hermit in the middle of the week kind of holding down the fort for the entire week. I feel like he's here reminding us about this energy. This is about going inward. This is about exploring ourselves, finding that knowledge through kind of doing the deeper introspective work, right? Going into the darker parts of ourselves, our feelings. Winter is here. I was looking at this morning's forecast, or the weekly forecast this morning with the audience that was there and present. Thank you guys for being there. And I was feeling that there was like a sort of a somberness to this week. There might even be a little bit of a break or a relaxation that allows us to take, that we're allowed to take this week, right? Just judging from the three cards as I was looking at the reading after having filmed it yesterday. And to me, this Hermit is very much about that energy, if that makes sense. It's about sort of taking that introspective time, getting to know oneself, going deeper, communicating with oneself at a more sort of honest level. I would say this would be about sort of forms of meditation, deep thought, reflection, figuring things out, maybe reflecting back on the year and looking at what sort of a year we've had and what did we do right, what could we maybe have done differently, right? But there's a knowledge that comes with the Hermit. There's a work that's involved in the Hermit that I feel like is important. And it doesn't have to be stressful, right? I don't get that feeling. I feel like there's I love that there's a bear in this card. To me, there's a ferocity to this bear, there's a strength to this bear, but there's also a peace and a calm to this bear. He knows what he's capable of, as should you, right? There's healing involved with the Hermit too. I feel like it's healing through self-knowledge, right? Or self-awareness. And so when I see him today, and I see him, we see him yesterday and then again today, I feel like we're probably going to read the Hermit's card today, just because I think that would be the right thing to do to honor the card and let the energy sort of, be heard. But let's see what's going on in the Song of My Heart deck really quick before I read that. This is the week, I think, to take time, maybe before the bustle of the holidays, take that time out for ourselves, to sit with ourselves and within ourselves and listen to the more subtle voices, right? What do we want? What do we need? What do we desire? What do we deserve? Are these voices even correct for us? Are we doing things for ourselves or for others? Are we shining a true light of ourselves? These are questions that come up as I'm looking at this card. Are we allowing others to see that light at this time? Are we retreating? Is this retreat better, like bettering ourselves, or are we actually just, you know, isolating? I think these are all questions that we want to pose to ourselves today. Okay. I defeat obstacles. Like the majestic Lindis Pass, I stand steadfast in hard times. Okay. So what I love about this is I love the orange that we have down here and the red that we have in her hair. There's a fieriness, there's an action being taken place. There is a strength that is being taken place here. I feel like she's being seen. I feel like the Hermit is a little bit more withdrawn, but as we continue, maybe we're being seen by our own selves, and that's far more important than being seen or validated by others at this time. So I think that there is a gift and there's a power, there's a strength, there's a almost like a Wands energy to this, even though Hermit is not necessarily Wands energy. But when I look at that orange dotted down at the bottom of the Hermit card coupled with the orange in her hair, where she's defeating obstacles, that's that strength that I sense in the bear. That's that sort of calm, self-assuredness, even though, you know, we might be sort of scared about, how do I want to say this, like, not scared about what we're finding, but maybe, like, you know, going deep might feel uncomfortable at this time of year. It could be a little bit, it's been a rough year for most of us, you know, if we have to sort of have a conversation within ourselves. How does that make us feel? I feel like the bear has the strength and the ability to defend oneself, right? So we are safe, we are secure, and we need to know that. And this woman here with her phrase, I defeat obstacles, says we can get like out of our own way, right? Or any obstacles that have been placed in our way, maybe through the opinions of others or situations we've dealt with this year. It's time to kind of let those things go, right? And sort of be free of them. Believing in ourselves, believing in our own passion, believing in our own power, the fire that drives us. Let me look for the brownie stone. All right, so yesterday's was on marble and we had clarity, right? Remember, that's the underpinning energy of this week, is this idea of clarity. And I'm kind of moving quickly through this because I want to do the reading of the Hermit. But this is also on marble today, very strong stone, and the word is desire. And I kind of feel like that's the red, the fieriness that we see in both the hair and in the Hermit card. What is it that we want? What is it that we need? What is it that's going to fulfill us, make us, can we have that conversation with ourselves? Can we look at the, you know, I hope I'm making sense. Like, can we look at what it is we want and what it is we've done to get ourselves there, or maybe not done to get ourselves there? Can we accept that, right? And what can we do different? What can we sort of change to move ourselves forward? Let me find the Hermit really quick, okay? And the Hermit is Virgo and Aquarius energy. So let's read this really quick. The keywords are solitude, self-awareness, study, soul-searching, patience, withdrawal, reluctant leadership. The Hermit card speaks of introspection, inward focus, and isolation. After several renditions with different animals, I chose the bear because of his association with hibernation and caves. This bear is wounded, but the wound is bringing forth new life. The Hermit may indicate that a time for self-care and intense learning growth has come. Virgo is associated with this card, as is the number 9, and the star in the lantern is a 6-pointed star, the seal of Solomon, a symbol of wisdom. In a reading, the Hermit most frequently represents the querent. Sometimes the Hermit represents another important person close to you. Trust your intuition to guide you in this. For example, in a love reading, the Hermit may appear as a spouse or love interest who feels distant, emotionally unavailable, or closed off. The Hermit in a future position may mean that your current course of action has you headed for loneliness. Be aware that the Hermit, in conjunction with the Swords or Wands conflict cards 5 and 7, can indicate that your sharp tongue or judgmental attitude has isolated you from others. Paired with the King or Queen of Swords, a time of intellectual study or exploration may have you seeking solitude. The Hermit combined with the Star is one of the best combinations you can pull. Together, they say that you are on the right track and that the gods are smiling on you. It's entirely possible to be in a state of isolation and be doing exactly what you need to do to grow and thrive. The Hermit combined with the Two of Cups, Ten of Cups, or the Lovers, you and your spouse or close partner may be entering a time of intense bonding and time away from the world. Hopefully this is not because you crashed your plane on top of a mountain or on a deserted island. In its reversed aspect, the Hermit may mean that you are not taking enough time for personal reflection, healing, or study. However, in contrast, the appearance of the reversed Hermit may suggest that you are spending too much time in excessive isolation and that it may be time to move out of the cave and back into the sunlight. You may be in danger of losing important connections to others because you have neglected those relationships while in hibernation. The astrology is Virgo or Aquarius, and the number is 9. The associated plants are chamomile, licorice, and sage. So I love that I don't know a lot about licorice, but chamomile is obviously very calming, soothing, nurturing, and then sage is cleansing, right? And we all burn sage. So I love this together. I love the orange in this Hermit coupled with this I defeat obstacles. I feel like these obstacles are within ourselves. What obstacles do we have? And then like challenging ourselves to ground in our desire and also seeking for the clarity of that desire. And how do we go inward to sort of maybe create a plan for the becoming year? That could be the reading for some of you here is what do we need to learn about ourselves, or what do we need to focus on or understand about ourselves so that we can pursue the desires that we want and defeat the obstacles that we perceive that may be there. These obstacles could be self-created or they could be outside of ourselves, right? They could be people or situations we're dealing with. But ultimately, as we go further inward and go deeper into that desire, the stronger we realize that we are. And the brighter that passion, that red or this orange color that we're seeing in this card, so which would represent that desire, can burn for us. There is a patience here this week that I feel when I looked at this morning's weekly, and I feel like the Hermit showing back up is to remind you that he's here, and this is the week to be doing that reflective work. Because, in like 2 weeks' time, when we're in the middle of Christmas and New Year's, we're not going to really be able to feel like we can maybe slow down to do this. So now is the time to give honor and time, space to ourselves, our hearts, our minds, to kind of connect in this way as we finish out this year and begin to start a new one, right? So honoring that is a very sacred act. And I think that's what's being asked of us today. I hope that makes sense. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I look forward to seeing what tomorrow's energy brings. If we see this Hermit card again, we're going to be in trouble, guys. I'm kidding. And please, if you like the video, hit the thumbs up sign and subscribe to the channel if you feel so inclined. You can also contact me at the Facebook business page if you'd like a private reading. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow. All right, have a great day. Thank you and take care. Bye-bye.